Okay, good afternoon, everybody. It's after lunch here in Texas. Luckily, my wife was really nice and cooked me a lunch before the meeting, and I wouldn't starve to death. But we have actually gone through and completed the full conversion of this e-business app, which is a demonstration app that PCSoft has on web dev. And I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to show you how it works. And we have already in the last session that the video will be up from this morning, actually did a deploy up there on the web. So I'll show you that the one on the web is working too. Um, so we've gone through it. Let's see how long it takes. We've got 5 hours worth of videos. It'll be six counting this morning, 6 hours worth of videos. So it literally took us 2 days to get where we are today. Now, let me hold off on this. Would I put it out as a commercial application right now? No. And the reason why is because you have so many new things that you can get your hands on now that you didn't have before to be able to utilize with it. The whole look and feel can change. The uh, controls, you might want to adjust the controls so they look better, things like this. So there's a what I call polishing off the application that needs to be done. And when I converted WX Kanban from WinDev into a web, I spent just on the main pages, I probably spent a couple of days on that. Just saying, let's tweak this. And I didn't like that. Let me tweak this and go through. And you will do the exact same thing when you get up the screens, the pages, because it will generate the pages based upon that document as closely as possible to what was there originally. Now, just to kind of give you a thought on this, most of the forms or the data entry pieces are going to be almost exactly the same as your existing ones. The web pages themselves, like the front menus and things like that, may be slightly different. I like a different type of menu anyway, so it makes no difference to me. But those are the things that you'll have to polish off. Some of them will be plain Jane because they don't know how to do the video or the layout that the theme that WinDev had or WebDev had to lay it out. It doesn't know anything about that, so it could be plain. So that's the reason why you got the themes up there on WX Kanban to choose from to give it a chance to kind of clean it up and make it look better. So the way you run it locally, and you can do this while as you're developing, you implement some pages, you want to see what they look like to kind of polish them off. You just do run server and client. That runs both sides. It does not always make it as a one run client. If you're running a database, it'll have a back end to it. That's the server part, and then run the client part. It usually runs along the three-tier architecture, which is database, intermediate area, and then your client, which is what everybody works with. This is no SOC 2 or anything on it, so it's kind of straightforward. But it's going to go through, list here, make sure everything is ready to go, connect to the database, all of that, and then it's going to give me a local host for the server and a local host for the screen, and we'll bring that up and run it and see what we get out of it. Okay, I'm going to bring over a web page for it. And yes, I use DuckDuckGo. Um, and we'll put that local host there. But let's see here. I can actually do the one we have up there, ebusiness at wexperts.com. And I'm going to go into the login. Let's see, admin, login. That's how you get into it here, and that's how they had you get into it, which is kind of dumb. I would have put a login for admin up on the screen somewhere. Okay, so here we got it. We got sign in, and this is the actual data. I had it generate automatic data to put in the database. I did not convert anything that was there. I don't think there was anything there anyway. I took the menu that was there and had it generated over here on the side to do its thing. It can, you can look at different content and products and new product highlights. And this is actually the website. You can go dark mode if you want to. I've got that, and you can edit one of the pieces where you got that, and you can cancel it. Okay. That's what's currently up there, and that is online at ebusiness.wexperts.com. So if anybody says you cannot convert and have a decent looking website, well, they're wrong. I can do it. Now, again, I would polish this quite a bit more. Quite a few things I do to polish it out, but it is going to emulate pretty close to what the one you would generate as the example if you decided to put it out on WAS and take a look. The second thing you'll find out that if you do things like this, you can keep this up there for hours, and then hit the edit button. It still works. It uses a JWT token. You can set that out for 12 hours, and it won't go away. It won't say context lost or any of that stuff that the WAS has always done to me. So let's take a look at the other one. This is the web. I'm going to copy that, go back to my website. And this is not going to take us long just because of the fact that some of the stuff's already done, but I want to kind of show you some things here. And I'm going to get a whole new screen and put that local host in there. That's not it. So I'll type it in. Localhost 3000. Okay. There it is again. Again, let's go to the admin. Log in. I'm going to go there. And I'll log in. Well, that's the wrong one. Okay. Yeah, save it. I don't care. So I've got all this. It's exactly the same that's currently up there. But the one thing about this is when you're polishing it up and you want to make it look better, that kind of thing, you can run this internally. There's actually an internal window too that you can run it in, but this is bigger, and this reason why I went ahead and got on the website. Just saying. If I want to make changes and say, okay, I don't like the kind of color scheme on there, I want to make a difference on that. Let's say I want to do something with the search window. On search panel, raise it and put purple glow around it. Okay. And what'll happen as we go along, you'll see it all of a sudden do that. And what I did last time up here is I went ahead and put the search also on each column, which I can do. Okay. Now, all the conversions started off in the first video, and we went through every step through every one of them. And let me tell you what we're going to do, or what I am doing. Number one is I'm going to write a text document that's going to be online for each step that you go through, and as much notes as I can. This is the basis of it. This gives me the steps that I need to have. And so the tech document you could print out or you can use online and go through the same steps and you'll be fine. There's already up there on WX Kanban a get started right here. Yeah, let me log out of this. That's the other thing that happens once you've logged in until you're out, it knows you're still there. Um, view setup instructions. That right there is how you set up VS Code, Kanban, the whole 9 yards. Everything, including my extensions that I use. Okay. Some of these, not so much, but most of them I do. Okay. So I want you to see that as well. So you can go through that as you need to without a problem, and you'll be in good shape. That's going to be a lot of what we're doing here. And where this is going to be is up here underneath the docs. That's going to change to say help tutorial. Because it's going to have the whole help system for WX Kanban on there, as well as tutorials that we're going to be doing, tutorial videos and things like that. I'm going to, we'll go at admin products. It's asking me which one to do, and I didn't tell it exactly which one, so it's going to find every one of them and say, yeah, do you want to do it to this one or that one? But the tutorials is going to be interactive tutorials. Probably start one towards the end of this week. I got to get some of this paperwork up there and stuff first, so that way people have got enough to work with, and then I'll start doing the first tutorials, the first interactive tutorials. I've got to finish up some stuff on another product that I built from scratch called Yap Chat, and when that's done, that'll give us, well, I'm looking for, there we go. It changed it. The local host will change automatically. So this is the one that's published. Okay. Let's look at the product. See, this is the one that's published, and this is the one with the slight change. Okay. So you can change it on the fly, maneuver things around, tell it, okay, no, I really don't need that at all because I've got the searches here. So hide search panel. And I'm just telling Claude or whatever your agent is what I want done. See, it's gone. This is how I polish. I spend some time taking a look at it, saying how I want it to look, things like that, and go from there. So it's not very hard. The light or dark, basically at the beginning, I just said implement the light and dark mode. And that gave me the system to start with on the light and dark mode is what it did. Simple. Okay. In order to deploy, I use AWS. You may not want to use AWS, so deployment is probably not going to be that much different. Okay. My suggestion is one of two things. There are people that want to deploy it as a core on Linux with Apache, or there's another product that does it. I'm kind of, Docker is probably the best way to deploy it. And the reason why is because of all of the different um, environmental um, rules, not rules, but keys, codes, things like this. If you do an email, you may have a token for the email. If you're including Stripe payments or something like this, you got tokens and stuff for that. And if you got it in a Docker format, well, all of that's included in the Docker, and you don't have to worry about it. It's just plug it and then point the URL to it. With AWS, it's even better. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to redeploy so we get the new version instead of the old version. So I want to see, I'm going to go back here and say, well, now see, I told it to hide it, say unhide it now. Keep the search panel. And it'll redo that and says, okay. And even if I said delete it and then bring it back, it'd still bring it back. So it doesn't make any difference. It's a great way to kind of clean it up and make it look really nice. Okay. So let's do this. Let's deploy e-business. through AWS. Okay. Now, since I've already done it once, it knows where to go. It doesn't go through half hour, 45 minutes of adding new stuff to it. And in the meantime, while this is churning through doing that, I'll show you some of the new things that I've got. Um, I've got a product called Yap Chat. And Yap Chat is where I'm trying to do a lot of things. And let me show you that. I've had this URL for years, and it's because I always got tired of trying to keep up with all the different space, all the different places I have to do chat rooms in. Okay. So what I did is I built this. And there is a public group that I put under WXCanban. As you can see, we've been doing a little testing, and it's a chat room. And what it's for is two things. Number one is that you can ask questions. Things will be posted there, stuff like this. You'll all get an invite directly to it, being a registered member. And it also has AI. Now, obviously, you can see it thinks Stefano is running everything. It says, "Oh, I don't know what's going on," but you can ask Stefano. I was laughing about that and telling Stefano he better keep up with his questions. But it's going to say support from now on. But the idea is that if someone answers a question, how do I change this or how do I do this? And someone has answered the question, and you ask a similar question, AI will keep that in its database as a searchable item and bring up the number of times that's been answered and what answers have been done. So two things happen. I'm putting all the help from WXCanban, which includes everything I'm doing in VS Code, both of them included. I'm putting that in here for it to be searchable and give you answers. So if I type in, how do I start a new project? Well, what's going to happen is once I got the help in here, it's going to give you everything that you need to know about how to start a new project from the get-go. What pages you need to go to, buttons you need to push, everything dealing with it. And then it'll also say, okay, here's how you get into VS Code. Here's what you're doing here too. It's going to give you the pages and links that you need to have to be able to understand where to go and how to get it done. I'm doing this from a simple standpoint is that I've got a lot of things I want to do. And if it can be answered by the AI agent nicely, more power to it. If it can't, it's going to give you that message. I could not find an answer to that in this space's documentation. You may want to ask support who are available to help. I'm putting in there, I will forward this to support to get you an answer as soon as possible. That's what it's going to say from here on out. And then it's going to put it up in my administration and let me know that it's there. Now, here's the fun part. When this gets finished, you can do the same thing with your application. I'm setting it up so that way you can do exactly the same thing with your application, where your AI can help your user find all the answers that they need to find for every one of them, because there'll be a skill for help. And I'm starting to finish that up now. So I've got over here, well, actually, I'm in the wrong one. Let's go here. In the commands, I've got a help catalog. And that help catalog is what I'm working on now to go through every screen, take screenshots of every section of the screen, apply what help goes to it, and create the help file and documents you need to, in essence, put help on your applications, either that web dev or web-based or, EXE, even mobile if you want it. But that's how it works. Now, here's the key part. How do you get to that when you're in here? Click on this up here. That takes you right to that chat here in VS Code. You are actually communicating with that Yap Chat here in VS Code. I think it's the coolest thing in the world. I literally told it, I need you to go through the WebSocket that's doing all the chats back and forth, and I want you to go straight to that space underneath WXCanban and show everything up there so I can type and have conversations with other developers. And it took, and I'm not kidding this at all, this was finished in an hour. It was up and running in an hour. It's to me, that's amazing. This, for anybody who's been around development long enough, this is going to take a while, but it did it. It worked out nicely. It really did. So I'm real happy about it. And I'm happy that how it's got fixed up and finished, and I'll be able to support. Remember, and most of you have been around me long enough, as well as some has been around me so long, back in the Clarion days and things like that. In fact, I even got Clarion and Visual Basic conversion also. But I digress. I've always been the type to try to get a community nature in anything that is going on in the development environment I'm doing, and in the people that I been around. And I have friends that have been 30 years, 20, 30 years doing this. So I'm trying to keep that same ability throughout this process as well. Something that I don't think is out there. Either you have to go to a different, like Facebook, which, good Lord, there's 15 or 20 of them out there, LinkedIn or something like that to go through them. And here's the key things that I'm working on, which some of you will dearly love. Right now, when I type in, you're seeing English here. There are 5 main languages that I'm working with that you can change to on WXCanban. Okay. I can change it to English, France, Spanish, Italian, Dutch, and Portuguese. So if I change it to French, then everything gets updated to French. Okay. And I've got to go down here and tell it, hey, this is supposed to be done to you. For some reason, it didn't do it. So I'm still working on it a little bit, or Italian, or Dutch, or Portuguese. Okay. The same thing I want in here. If you type in a French message, I will see it as English. If I type in an English message, you will see it as French. I'm working on that to make sure that the communication, since obviously this thing is banged worldwide, I've got people all over that have a hard time understanding me being from Texas, and I understand that. But at least this way, the communications can work in your own language no matter who it comes from. So if a French person types in a response on a question based upon, and they're Portuguese, well, it's going to see it. He's going to see the answer in Portuguese. You're going to see, the French person is going to see the statement and what he asked for in French. You're thinking that's going to be neat and that's going to be something hard to do. No, I asked it, can I do this? He said, yes, you can do this. It based upon what they said on there. There'll be a deal up here for language, and everything will change to that language. Now, will it be perfect? Probably not. Bad spellers, things like that will probably help, especially me. But we'll try to make sure it was about as clean as possible. And I think that's probably the most fun, is to do it that way. Let's see where we're at here. Okay, so it started the Docker. It's already live. It built it, put it up there. Everything's good. So let's go back over to the e-business on this one and refresh it. And there it is. Now, here's the other thing about publishing that I want you to know. When it publishes, it does not stop everybody from using it while it publishes. It stages it. It gets it up there, makes sure everything is correct, then flips it over. I was still being able to use this as it was previously until I went to another page. And then if I go to another page, it'll flip to the new version automatically. That's the way it works. It's great about that. I won't have an issue about, hey, you guys got to get off the machine. I got to update this program or this one. I can just push it and say, put it on there, and it will then stage it, and you've got it ready to go. It doesn't shut anything down. And that's Docker right there because it's using Docker up on AWS to do this. I'm going to leave this up there for everybody that's there. This is going to be one of the shorter meetings, but we're going to get into a question and answer as soon as I get done talking here. And we'll talk about different things that you've done and, any questions you may have about it. And we'll try to answer every one of them. Okay. But since I did this in the first one, I don't want to reiterate it 100 times. Everybody can say, didn't you just do that in the last video? Yes. Did you just do that in the last 2 videos? Yes. So at the moment, that's as far as I need to go with this one. You'll have to look at some of the first 4 or 5 that I've got up there on YouTube. And that is the YouTube for that is mine. And you can get there under, let's see, what do we have that under? Just a second. That would be HTTPS or HTTP / twice youtube.wexperts.com. And that takes you to the YouTube channel that I put up there, and you can see the first sets of videos for each one of those. Plus some of my older stuff is there too, but you can go through each one of them and see how it was done from the conversion to now to the implementation. Okay. So that kind of shows you everything. Let's pop over here and let's do a little bit of discussions, different things. The one thing I will not discuss is what PCSoft is doing with their pricing. That's their business. I am basically non-performing non grata for them at the moment. So we're not going to get much anywhere talking about it anyway. So y'all turn on your mics. Let's ask whatever questions you have. Be glad to see what I can do to help you. There's no questions. Okay. Well, then I'm going to stop the recording. And if y'all just want to have an open discussion for a little bit, I'm cool with that too. So I'm going to say, be good or be good at it. That'll be done with this recording.